leader in wind energy from Spain, opened manufacturing operations in Pennsylvania, it did not flinch when its workers began organizing with the Steelworkers Union. The company voluntarily recognized the union and negotiated a contract that now provides starting wages of up to $20 an hour, plus skills increments and pretty good benefits. Last year, Gamesa was honored by American Rights at Work for its cooperative relationship with its unionized workers. In the construction field, a Portland, Oregon developer named Gerding Eglin is a leader in smart growth and green building practices, but it also is a willing partner with the building trades in Portland and the other cities in which it does projects. The company does almost 100% of its work on a union basis, paying top wages, which in the case of plumbers, for instance, in Portland, means $35 an hour in cash, plus benefits worth $17 an hour. Even in the recycling business, there is a model employer. The Recycle Central operation run by NorCal Waste Systems in San Francisco is both an innovator in getting homes and businesses to maximize their level of recycling, and through its contract with Teamsters Local 350 is providing high-quality jobs. Its workers start at $20 an hour, and veteran employees make close to $30 an hour. As a condition of its agreement with the city of San Francisco, NorCal makes a special effort to hire people from some of the poorest neighborhoods in the city. In the report, we also analyze a campaign in the Los Angeles area where a broad-based coalition of labor, environmental, and community groups brought about regulatory changes that are improving air quality while simultaneously raising living standards for port truck drivers who are being converted from supposed independent contractors to actual employees of the trucking companies, and they'll be in a position to get real wages and benefits. Now, if green jobs are not automatically good or bad, the question then is how we create more better employment situations. One thing that's clear is that we don't depend on the labor market, and we don't depend on the benevolence of individual employers. In our research, we found that better green jobs tend to come about in one of two ways. Either the workers organized themselves into a union and negotiated better wages, benefits, and other conditions, or the employers were subject to job quality requirements imposed by state or local agencies that provided economic development subsidies to the companies. Especially among the manufacturing companies that I spoke about, these subsidies are actually quite common. We found more than 24 examples of wind and solar equipment manufacturers that are receiving local property tax abatements, state income tax credits, low-cost loans, free or cheap land, infrastructure aid, training grants, and a slew of other incentives from state and local governments, which use the financial assistance as a way of luring these companies to their particular jurisdiction. For example, a company called United Solar Ovonic is building a plant in Battle Creek, Michigan, and it's getting a package of state and local incentives worth nearly $100 million. The state of Arkansas and the city of Little Rock rolled out the financial red carpet for the Danish wind blade company LM Glassfiber. In addition to more than $30 million in direct subsidies, the company was freed from having to raise capital to build the plant, which is being financed by industrial revenue bonds issued by the city. Since the city will technically own the plant, the company will not have to pay property taxes. Instead, it will make a much smaller payment in lieu of taxes. Under legislation enacted by the state, LM Glassfiber will not have to pay state corporate income taxes, any state corporate income taxes, for 27 years if it meets certain hiring requirements. Now, one can debate in fiscal terms whether it makes sense for state and local governments to be this generous in their subsidies to these companies. But from an employment perspective, the subsidies create a sterling opportunity. A growing number of state and local governments have been adopting policies that require subsidized companies to meet certain wage standards. In some cases, there are also standards for health insurance coverage and other benefits.